we are still looking pretty and a Crow coming out with the double heals of game number 4 right now, because Team Secret are still the ones aggressive. They're still the ones making the plays. Xenotech is still going down
at the Unified Western Championship.
And if he's not going to
as well.
finish off into
day
that
of
Atlas,
first,
he is
heroes
going
are
more into
all
damage.
coming out
we're looking
in
at
spades.
Like
Everyone is playing everything.
11 minutes
Yesterday, Xenotech had an amazing performance. His Grubjaw, well, I was sitting in my hotel room. I had to go back and get some rest, but I was awake. I was full awake for the rest of the evening after watching it. It had me on a high that I haven't experienced in a while. So, like, this is something that I'm really excited to see, and especially to see if Xenotech, Araki Zoro, and of course Rex are here once more to represent North America. The amount of enthusiasm.
Resistance member for the team. They are looking to make Mowgli proud.
Like, this whole series really was a big showcase of Team Secret just kind of evolving, right? They finally get a Lance. I mean, where was the Lance in the very first games? That was definitely a very Team Secret kind of thing, but now bringing it through, Justman is really showing that he's not rusty with this at all. They just had to change tactics. They took away Grumpjaws. Now they're up 2-1, but with a Lance coming in now, like, those impales are starting to be just so lit.
And we're at 10 minutes now, and the gold lead here for Team Secret is 4,000. Starting up this gold miner once more, and they will be able to progress their gold lead further. Gangstars, they are starting to realize the severity of their situation for court. There's a Baron on Tricky. He's starting to scale up in towards a bit of a late game. Vox, one of the heroes that can deal with Baron in the late game, but they need to get that gold onto Araki Zoro.
And the gold's just not there. We're down, what, 4,000 gold at this point. If you take just a snapshot of Tricky versus Araki, right? Araki is still looking for that double sustain. All right, fine, 10 minutes in. Look at Tricky. Tricky has a Sora Blade up breaking point. He's looking into crit at this point. We also have that reflex online. Tricky is just miles ahead.
Speaking of ahead, look at Doom versus Xenotech. It's just a Storm Crown on Xenotech. He's had to itemize into an Atlas Pauldron as his second tier 3, whereas I'm the Doom is being allowed to just build straight up damage. That's going to be Tricky diving forward with the jump jet, the on point, about 300 damage onto Araki. Ion Cannon about to fall, Tricky looking for the damage. Here comes Xenotech looking to find a kill. That's going to be a silence, they swallow
she's going to be 100% either in the
trying to
ban.
escape,
I would imagine
but
probably not
Araki in
leaving the ban,
trouble.
but
Fountain isn't enough.
that's going to be
Tricky
part of the
going
major
very
story
low.
today.
He's going extremely low. He drops. Xenotech able to find the kill, but Doom finds the returner. A 2-for-1, and now Rex is the finisher. The dessert course here for Team Secret. Looking to find I'm the Doom. I'm the Doom. What's going on? He's just sitting still. It's going to be Rex finding a kill for himself. What an immense play there by Rex.
How are we feeling about
Here
this
I am
one?
just even thinking, like, no, this is not going to be the same case, right? The Crystal Sentry save they're making
is going to be
before,
a major
there's no way
story,
Rex
and
can actually
she's
get out
going
of
to be
this one alive,
100%
but
either
he makes
in the
it
ban.
happen.
I would
He gets
imagine
those
probably
kills.
not
He is
leaving the ban,
dodging
but
just left, right,
that's going to be
center.
part
We
of the
need to
major
see
story
more
today.
of that if we're going to be coming back here from Gangstars, but just Araki too far forward perhaps in some of these fights, but that round he was definitely the focus. Eventually they made a play for Tricky compared to the Araki, but then like I'm the Doom, it just does so much more damage than Xenotech. Rex somehow, skin of his teeth, what a god, made it just not at all as terrible as it could have been, but Gangstars are still looking pretty grim.
What kind of picks are we looking at first? Are we just leaning towards the Lyra and Adagio again?
Most likely. Stars back into the game, then the credit
first picks, but they're going to go with the Grumpjaw on Team
confident
Secret.
that he can carry his team to victory, and when he has such characters as Xenotech,
this is an adaptation, I believe, to yesterday's games, most likely, from them knowing and kind of seeing where some of the strengths from Gangstars came from. They saw this Grumpjaw be very successful.
If that is going to be the moment for the comeback,
major plays and actually game-saving plays, so it is the takeaway that Gangstars goes to that Adagio first pick.
Surprised
going to be a fight breaking out for court. Tricky has just purchased his monocle, so grit is there for him. That's a 3-item Baron here at 13 minutes, and against Gangstars, they've realized that they are not wanting to take on this 3-item Baron when Araki only has a Serpent Mask and a poison ship to his name.
They can force the ban
even if Araki does magically pick up the third item in the next minute or so, which it's possible. It's just not likely at this point. You're still not looking nearly as powerful as Tricky at this point, right? We still have the positioning. Not quite a big vision game here from Team Secret, but they are consistently pushing forward, doing rotations, and leaving down scout traps just enough to know what everything is.
Impale, blocked by Araki Zoro, not going to find himself rooted, and off of that Team Secret, not going to even attempt a fight. I think that's good heads-up play from Team Secret to know that when Araki Zoro, their main target, has escaped, then fighting a Crystal Sentry is not the worth thing to do.
Oh, this could be dangerous,
right.
But there's not a jump there from Secret. They did not know Rekt wasn't there, but he has treads to bring back here.
Tricky diving forward, but Rekt with the treads. Oh, damage onto Araki. That's a lot. Turret going down. Tricky, you need to be careful. Giffy and Moore going to stun Xenotech, but they're on to Tricky. Jump gets away. He's in the burst. That's a lot of damage. They're going to swallow up Doom, and Doom trying to get away, but I don't think he can. Oh, the on-point shield. He's over the wall. Can he escape this? I don't know if he can. Crystal Sentry in Europe. It gets its revenge.
Oh, I gotta come out here more often. These sentries are fire, but that was actually just such a great stuff from Xenotech to bring I'm the Doom out of that one. Like, there's no Aegis there, right? I'm the Doom has built up the damage. He has himself that Atlas to go with Justman. It's double Atlas on both sides yet again, but that swallow was really the defining moment of that one.
Now Xenotech completing his Aftershock as well. The 15-minute mark, say hello to the Kraken, and the replay, we have to watch it.
Yeah, well, Tricky and Justman off to the right? Rekt is making sure they can't come to the savior here of Doom. And Doom, I mean, it was a great move to go over the wall, but the Sentry has all vision, it seems.
Yeah, all-seeing, all-knowing. Do not mess with the Crystal Sentries. That's the rule we've learned today here at this Unified Western Live Championship. Let's take stock forecourt. It's been an action-packed game, but let's see where we're at. 4,500 gold in the lead for Team Secret. Tricky with the coin for himself almost at that double monocles stage. Araki has finally finished his breaking point as well, so the damage now for Gangstars is there.
Well, the damage is there for Araki. The bigger thing for me is that Xenotech finally has his 2 to go. He also has that infusion sitting there as well, so if we find a fight, Gangsters still have a chance.
This is a great area to fight when your Lance and Rekt is getting just that. Xenotech gonna dive forward. They're looking to get onto Tricky, and Tricky's getting bursted down. Tricky gets taken on out by Xenotech. I'm the Doom gets swallowed up, stuffed in the belly of a Xenotech as he chases onto Justman, but I'm the Doom's not done. Rose offensive away is just not enough. Gangstars with their items looking for an ace, and the ace is theirs.
Yeah, I call about tunnel vision here for Gangstars. Yeah, let's talk about I'm the Doom right there. Just sticking on top of Rekt, leaving his Tricky, and the Tricky gets hit hard by Xenotech, by Araki Zoro. Turns it into a 2v2 as Rekt does go down eventually, but then the swallow comes through, right? 2v1 into basically another 2v1 as I'm the Doom does go down. Justman coming back with the impale basically seals his own fate from there, and Gangstars pick up a Kraken on top of it.
A Kraken, a turret, an ace. Everything that has just been said is void. Gangstars with a huge advantage now for them. The 3,000 gold lead that Team Secret are holding above Gangstars' head means nothing at this stage, as Gangstars are feeling confident enough to start taking fights.
Xenotech actually might become a little bit more unstoppable as time goes on. If I'm the Doom does not do anything up against Xenotech, look at the double armor he set himself up for here. Not only that, he has living armor on top of him, so Tricky is going to be having to deal with Xenotech in his face again and again.
This is going to be the first turret the Kraken looking to take here. Gangstars looking to match their stats. Let's see if they can push it forward. First turret to go down, and the Kraken, it's taken a beating. That's a lot of grit going down. That's going to be a stuffed not taking anyone out. A huge down. Rekt with the first is going to get crucibled. Ion Cannon on top of the Kraken. Silence comes out. No damage onto Araki. Cannot deal with the Ion Cannon. Team Secret, they stop the Kraken from taking the choke. Do they have War Treads? No, they do not. Means the chase here is hard for Team Secret. They're pushing Gangstars right on back to their base, but they will give up foot and perhaps look to take a sentry instead.
Well, at least they're going to be taking out this Trent, but they do stop up the push. That's absolutely huge because Team Secret pick up a lot of gold from that one, and that's not going to be, some... I'm sorry, Dowsy's making some funny faces over here, but the turret push was stopped. The Kraken dead in his tracks. A lot of cash forked over to Secret there.
So the funny face has a reason for court. Tricky had the gold in his back pocket to get his second Tyrant's monocle and complete his weapon power build. Instead, prioritizing into an Aegis is obviously showing respect to Xenotech and the damage he's outputting.
Yep, the stuff has really started to turn things around here for Gangstars. Justman has that Crucible on top of it, but I'm the Doom is going to go into their own Shiv at this point, just really trying to bring down that self-sustaining Araki Zoro.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. If I'm the Doom can stick onto Araki Zoro, take him down, cut down the hill, then that is going to be crucial.
Here
comes the engage. I'm the Doom starting to apply the mortal wounds. Araki taking damage. Tricky so safe. First the judgment goes out. The silence is there.
Close.
That's the fountain. I'm the Doom's healing. Tricky laying down the damage. They're looking. Impale. Wrecked. Caught up. That's the on point, but he's still alive. And Team Secret, the energy low. They cannot look for a re-engage. Everyone walks away wondering how no one died.
I didn't see the health at the end there for I'm the Doom, but it couldn't have been more than 50. Like, he just could have been sneezed on by anyone. He would have been the one to drop, but they have got a really curb down, and they did this time, because I'm the Doom so low, they didn't tunnel vision it. They didn't chase for the kill. Tricky was starting to amount the damage at that point, and Gangsters have really learned their lesson on that one. They cannot just keep running into Tricky. At this stage of the game, he can bring them to their knees.
20 minutes forecourt.
Wrecked has triple armor. Triple armor with 2 tier 3s.
The Xenotech has almost done the same with the double. There's no defensive against I'm the Doom, and he's just not finding the damage here. He needs to be doing so. They haven't itemized anything against him. Earlier, when talking to Justman, he said it's on I'm the Doom to be the rock for the team. A Kraken being started up. This is so risky by Team Secret. They're looking to commit. I am kind of going to go down. Wrecked with the Atlas on.
Oh,
and the Kraken still comes through for Gangstars. They're looking to make the fight. They've got the regen. Xenotech dives forward. Doom is low. Can Team Secret turn it? Araki goes very low as well. Xenotech in the middle of it. He's taking a lot of damage. That's going to be the route, but can they commit? Goes to Doom. Tricky diving forward. They're looking for Araki, but they cannot get on top of him. Instead, they settle for Wreck. The Kraken may have been won by Gangstars, but Team Secret will not be dealing with a push.
Even with all that armor, it's still not enough. Not when another Sentry's also involved on that one, but fine. The Kraken's stolen out. That's the only silver lining here for Gangstars. They can't get a kill, but at least they're not going to get pushed down. They do take the choke point turn. They've opened up the base. If Gangstars can get one kill at the 21-minute mark plus, they will be able to finish out, but they are still struggling so mightily up against Tricky.
There's the Tyrant monocle. Tricky has completed his weapon damage build. The music forecourt, it's menacing, but imagine what music is playing in the heads of all of these players. Team Secret steps away from becoming history, and Gangstars, of course, being steps away from stopping that from being a reality, a nightmare for North America.
The nightmare is still actually very real at this point, at least from our side of the pond here, Dowsy. But Gangstars, 5,000 gold, 6,000 gold between these teams. We're going to have a few minutes more until the Kraken comes through. Gangstars not very interested in contesting much. You know, once you pass the 40,000 gold mark, really the money difference does not become too much of an issue, because we do have multiple completed builds, at least into the 5-item state. But so much armor on top of Xenotech, wrecked into the triple. Justman actually following suit for his side, and now look at the flank.
Team Secret looking for the flank indeed. Gangstars, they're not aware of it. What can they do? First auto attack, they're charging forward. That's going to be Doom straight onto Araki, but look at the damage that's going down onto Doom. He's getting melted. Fountain, right timing. Tricky, he dives onto Araki.
Oh.
He doesn't quite have the damage, though, and Xenotech has followed him. Right, takes out Doom. Here comes Tricky. He is just going to get focused right on down.
GG.
Goes to Xenotech. GG, perhaps. Gangstars are chasing. They've got 2 to to go through, and now they're turning towards the base. 30 seconds on Doom, 40 seconds on Tricky. Gangstars with time to play with.
All right, we started that fight off with Rekt just rushing right into Tricky. Thought maybe perhaps he lost control of everything, but no, he was looking for the Atlas. He got that Atlas, but he couldn't really seem to find a good situation. Justman is going to try his best here for the defense, and he will. He will, but there is a Kraken that is going to be in the wings here soon enough, and there's still 18 seconds for Tricky to come back up. But there's a big problem with that last fight, Dowsy. That last fight, Rekt was a big target. You saw I'm the Doom. He was down so low. Justman rolled right through Rekt, hit him with the Githian, and that put the Versa Judgment into the kill range of I'm the Doom. That was not the communication that Team Secret needed for that kill.
Well, the Kraken is going down very quickly, but Justman is looking to be the savior.
If he steals this.
Oh, the Impale doesn't quite go across the wall. Secured by Xenotech there. Kraken now to push for Gangstars.
I'm just still reeling from that fight. Like, Team Secret, I really do think if I'm the Doom had not been in that Versa Judgment, if Rekt had not got knocked by Justman into that kill zone, it could have been a very different fight. But at the same time, Gangstars, they might not have been able to push down, but there's still a Kraken here, and that Kraken will force at least Team Secret to reveal themselves.
Well, the flare does reveal Gangstars. Here come the Gangstars looking to push down. They haven't had quite such success with their turret pushes on Kraken, but the third for them this game. A stuffed onto Tricky. They've got to go forward, try and get him out of there. Tricky is out, jump jets away. They're looking to fight. Tricky looking to lay down the damage, and I'm the Doom's causing trouble here. Araki has to escape. The fountain available. Justman can go for it. Impale down, but let's not forget the Kraken. Tricky onto Araki. Can he get the kill? Give me a wall. That's him dead. That's the main damage. And now Team Secret are going to look to finish this one off. Xenotech takes down I'm the Doom, but Rekt will fall. A double. Xenotech gets a double. He wants this game. He cannot believe his eyes. He's looking to finish it. They're not done here, Gangstars. They're taking us to a fifth. I don't think Justman can defend the base against a Kraken and a Grumpjaw. Which one of those is worse? He's given up. We're going to Game 5.
Game 5 hype, Dowsy. Team Secret not able to clinch the deal in that reverse. The Gangstars get the first win. 2 go over to Secret, and now on the back of Xenotech, on the back of a triple armored up Adagio. And this Grumpjaw becoming such a central focus in this series. We are going to go the full distance here.
It's only appropriate forecourt that if a European team were to have a chance at upsetting the norm, that North American team takes them all the way. Game 5 upcoming. Before we get there though, let's hear what our beautiful faced analysts think about that one.
Thank you very much, guys. What an absolute treat this series is. Like, 20 minutes into this game, it could have gone any way. It felt like Secret had it. It felt like it was going to be a 3-1.
It did.
But Gangstars somehow pulled themselves back into it.
Yeah, what an unbelievable performance down the stretch. That's the Gangstars that played yesterday. Yeah. That's the Gangstars that played Game 1. Finally managing to get back to form. And it only took them, you know, almost 20 minutes to get to that point.
Yep.
But what a phenomenal showing. At the same time, Team Secret, couple of mistakes, couple of missed skill shots, really cost them, really hurt at the end.
Yeah, I think it was a lot down to the pressure of that game, right? Both teams very aware of how much is riding on that game, and you could see it in the late game team fights. A few mechanical mistakes that it felt like we're down to nerves.
Yeah, the pressure is a lot on I'm the Doom, honestly. Like Team Secret told us early on, if I'm the Doom performs, they win. If he underperforms, they lose. And in this specific game, when it mattered most for him to hit those on points, to keep the barrier up, to stay alive, so many fountains having to be used from Justman because I'm the Doom is almost instantaneously dying. So, I mean, you can kind of see here, like, it's the same kind of thing where I'm the Doom is going in, but once you'll see in a second, the critical on points that need to come out are missing, and that's all. See that on point? That's all his damage. He also swapped to Grumpjaw instead of going on Vox, who has max stacks. You can look for executes, just not actually getting the damage they need down. Tricky tried. Like, Tricky was really trying to get everything here, but
they kind of went a little deep on this Adagio. I think once the Adagio kind of went down into the jungle, they should have tried to escape, use jump jets to go back. You have a Kraken to think about.
Yeah, Kraken was pushing in the base at that point, and then you see Xenotech just come in and finish it off. And just what a way to end this game. Justman came out, was like, maybe I can save this, then saw just how much health Kraken had left after the turret explosion, knew there was no way he was going to be able to do enough damage to stop it.
Yeah, and I think this game worthy of the series that it's in right now. 2 apiece. We are going to a 5th game. The draft is almost ready for that as well.
Just about ready to get underway.
I mean,
how are we feeling about this one
today
in terms of the draft? What kind of heroes are we expecting
that's
to pick
the game to watch.
I definitely think Kestrel is going to be a major
story,
and absolutely 100% either in the band.
Secret,
I would imagine
those
probably not leaving the band, but that's going to be part of the major story
could go on without him. Gangstars, can they keep up consistency for one more game?
Have arisen.
That's true.
That's the problem right now. Can they close it out? Because they had that game in hand and were unable to do so. And it's
so close.
So close. And honestly, the turning point almost felt like that Crystal Sentry MVP play to turn things around. That really was where the game began to turn in favor of Gangstars.
Yeah, I think going into the draft, actually Team Secret shouldn't vary their draft too much from what they did. I think in the last game, putting I'm the Doom on that CP Blackfeather, it was effective, but he went into some strange builds. The Poison Shiv, like he doesn't have enough defense to stick on a target. So I think if they fine-tune a little bit, let's get the Grumpjaw. If Gangstars doesn't pick or ban Baron, I definitely think Team Secret needs to pick it up. Tricky still looked really good, even in that loss.
Yeah. We've kind of stepped back a little bit to this kind of default draft once again, where the Lyra comes in very on early. Do we think the Adagio is going to be banned out here, or do we think it'll be safe to be picked?
I definitely think if it's going to be banned out, it's probably going to come from Team Secret, so Gangstars doesn't take both. At least Team Secret hasn't shown proficiency on the Adagio yet, so I don't think Gangstars is too concerned about it. And it forces Team Secret to have to think right now, do we get rid of the Adagio so they can't run it?
Yeah.
Double heal. Blackfeather is off the board, though, so that is something to note. But that Kroll pick, of course, Rona coming through at the end, those are all still options.
Yeah, I think Adagio needs to be banned here by Secret. Otherwise, they are setting themselves up for a very, very difficult Game 5.
Yeah, it's like, I think it's a horrible situation where Secret, they would love to pick the Adagio, right, in the next couple of picks, but they don't get that opportunity.
Well, something to consider here is if they do ban the Adagio, then Gangstars could just take Baron with Lyra, which is something now, because Adagio's open, they force the envelope, because if Team Secret feels like they can play it as well, then Gangstars either gets Adagio or Baron here. They choose the Adagio, that means Team Secret gets Baron with a front line. This is still something that can do a lot of work if they choose to go that route.
I still think this favors Gangstars, though, because we saw that Arakizaru's Baron was not his greatest hero anyway, right? We've seen that in this series specifically. Vox going to go the way of Secret. That's usually been on Gangstars' side.
The Fortress is so important here. Having the Mortal Wounds to apply to anyone who's trying to heal up, and the Vox applying Mortal Wounds with a Poison Shiv. This is a draft that Team Secret, they adjusted. They knew what they wanted. They almost, I feel like they maybe baited Gangstars into picking up this double heal because now they have a way to deal with it.
But the question is, can they deal with it? Because we saw the double heal comp was the first series of